Hey there guys, and welcome back to another video here. Today I will be talking about Dropbox stock, ticker symbol DBX. This is definitely going to be a bit of an in-depth analysis for you guys, so make sure to stick around for the entire video. Whether you've known Dropbox for a few years now or you're just hearing about it now, this video is definitely going to be packed with value for no matter who you are watching this video. Here's a quick overview of what we're going to be covering here today. First, the fundamentals of Dropbox, what they are as a business, what products they offer, who uses their products, things along those lines. Secondly, I'm going to go through Dropbox's financials. So that's things like their balance sheet, their revenue growth, their income statement, things like that, and their expected revenue growth into the future. Thirdly, I'm going to go through their valuation, if I think it's undervalued, overvalued, or just neutral. And then lastly, I'm going to go through what I'm doing. If I'm buying the stock, selling the stock, holding the stock, and I'm also going to give 3 to 5 year price targets for Dropbox, so make sure to stick around for that. Here's a brief overview of Dropbox, trading at around $19 a share as of right now, right under an $8 billion market cap, so definitely not a small company at $8 billion. If you are new here, make sure to hit that subscribe button and those notifications so you get notified whenever I post a new video, and make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really helps out the channel and helps motivate me to make new videos. If you do know of a company that you want me to take a look at, make sure to drop the ticker symbol and the name of the company down below in the comments section, and I'll definitely get back to you. Alright? So Dropbox. What Dropbox is pretty much a cloud-based storage for individuals and companies. So let's say I have a laptop and I have documents that I want to store. I could download Dropbox or just go to their online website and drag and drop those files into Dropbox, and Dropbox pretty much stores them for me. So it's definitely a very nice way to store documents that millions of people around the world use. If you see here, Dropbox currently has 600 million registered users, which is just incredible if you think about it. That's almost 10% of the world's population has a Dropbox account. So definitely a large amount of people that Dropbox has access to a certain extent. Dropbox stores 550 billion pieces of content, so they've definitely got incredible servers to hold all of that, data, all of that content, and they have 15 million paying users. So again, definitely not a small number, 15 million, but a lot of upside if they can reach some of those other 600 million registered users. And then this is the statistic that I personally really like. 80% of Dropbox's subscribers use Dropbox for work. If you're using a product for work, you're much less likely to stop using that product, and you're much more likely to renew that subscription. So if you're using it for work, it's definitely, Dropbox is already a sticky business model, right? If you're using Dropbox, you're not very likely to switch over to another platform. But if you're using it for work, the chances of you switching go down even more. Here's a brief overview of Dropbox's subscriptions. So it's divided in between individuals and teams, which is pretty much businesses, enterprises. So the individuals, you have an option between a free account and different paid accounts depending on what you want. Most people, as of right now, have a free account. But I personally believe that Dropbox is going to really market the higher end plans to those people so that they switch over to paying customers. And then teams, again, this is great. Having a company use Dropbox is great because they pay, as you can see here, just for the standard plan, $15 a month per user. Which again, if you've got a bit of a larger team, that's a great revenue stream for a Dropbox that again is very consistent, and will probably continue for for decades into the future. And then you obviously have the enterprise plans for bigger companies if you are interested in that. So Dropbox, see, this is kind of what I really like about Dropbox. They are a very innovative company. They started off with just cloud-based storage, but now they're building world's first smart workplace, or smart workspace, as they call it. A unified workspace that organizes your content, connects your software as a service tools, and brings teams together. right? So if you've got a company, you have Dropbox, everyone uses Dropbox, and everyone's connected. If you share a file, people can comment on that file. People can chat through Dropbox. It's really a great way to connect a team, and really bring everyone together. One of the things that I don't really like about email is how it's only really person to person, right? But with Dropbox, everything's open. You have a file, someone shares feedback, everyone sees that feedback, and everyone can take advantage of it. So Dropbox is reinventing the software playbook. Traditionally, software is designed for IT. Dropbox designs it for the users. You could see this by the modern look of the software. I use it, and it's out of this world. It's incredible. But traditionally, it's top-down distribution. You go to the top of the company, and the company distributes it to all of its employees. What Dropbox does, what sets it apart, is it targets the masses and works its way up through the company. Traditionally, it's a walled garden. What Dropbox does is have an open ecosystem. This is like Apple. If you have an iPhone, a MacBook, an Apple Watch, you're not going to change because you're going to have to go through the pain of switching your laptop and then having to switch your phone because all these things connect, right? Connect together, and it's so much harder having like an Android device and then an Apple device. If you have multiple Apple devices, you're probably never going to change for a really long time. Normally, by the traditional playbook, rip and replace, which sets Dropbox apart, live side by side. Here is kind of what Dropbox does. Efficient go-to market. This is how they target those high-paying customers, the enterprises, the big companies. They start with massive user adoption. Then they land within companies, right? And then they expand within the companies, which then leads to full deployment, right? So, when you have millions of people using Dropbox, they start with the lowest level. They start with everybody. And then those companies realize, hey, you know what? This Dropbox product is actually pretty good. Maybe we should go ahead and deploy it within our company, right? And then as it expands throughout the company does full deployment, and then that's how Dropbox gets into those companies, and then they stick in those. They stick very easily within those companies. You're very unlikely to stop your subscription once you have it going. Dropbox is known to have an open ecosystem. Look at all of these apps that Dropbox works with. IBM, Oracle, DocuSign, Autodesk, Adobe, Vimeo, Salesforce, HubSpot, Hootsuite. All of these companies are all companies that we use. Outlook, Gmail, Office, Slack, Workspace, Zoom, Microsoft Teams. These are big companies, very big companies, that millions of people are using. So if you're using Dropbox, you have a very connected way to use these different softwares through Dropbox, right? And now this is what is really exciting to me. Dropbox currently has 15 million paying users, meaning they have some sort of a subscription plan going, and they're paying Dropbox monthly. They have 350 million potential high-value targets. See, now this is incredible here. Out of the 350 million potential high-value targets, 15 million are paying users. Now, imagine if they only, over the next 3 to 5 years, they managed to convert 10% of those high-value targets into paying users. That would translate to 35 million subscriptions, which would increase Dropbox's active subscriptions by over 200%, right? What Dropbox has to do to get those users to pay is right here is you have to convert them. You have to drive registered users to become paying users on individual and team plans. If they manage to do that, this is one of the biggest growth catalysts for this stock. And again, it's incredible. Dropbox continues to innovate. with new product experiences, leveraging scale, and use insight to enhance existing products and drive adaptation of new ones. Once people start using one of Dropbox's products, they're much more likely to, see another one of their products like Dropbox Vault or HelloSign, and maybe sign up for that subscription as well, right? And they're, constantly trying to expand their ecosystem, grow thriving ecosystem to put Dropbox at the center of users' lives. Next year, you're going to go through the product highlights. So these are the different products that Dropbox offers. This is Dropbox. This is their main product. It brings together cloud content and traditional files in one place. You don't have to search through different databases to look through your files. It's all just in one place. It brings tools together by integrating with the best of breed apps. Things like Zoom or Slack are very integrated in Dropbox, so it is very easy to set a Zoom call up through Dropbox or send a file to Slack through Dropbox, right? And they bring people together by transforming folders into rich workspaces. I mean, you can just see how clean this design is of Dropbox. Again, it's just an incredible software. Here's Dropbox Transfer. It easily and securely allows you to share large files and folders. Recipients can view, download, and comment on transfers, and then senders receive analytics and real-time notifications around file activity. I really like to do this with videos. I'm able to upload a video to Dropbox, and then I'm given a link, and I can send that link to anyone I want. And with that link, they can view the video, they can download the video, they can share what they think about the video through that link. So again, it's a great way to do that, because you can't really send large files through Gmail. So, through Dropbox Transfer, you're able to again, send these larger files to different people very easily and efficiently. Here's Dropbox Passwords. I think this is an incredible tool that more and more people are going to continue to use into the future. What Dropbox Passwords does, it stores and syncs passwords across all devices. You can easily sign in from anywhere, and there is a zero-knowledge encryption which keeps users' data secure. So what this does pretty much, it saves your passwords to different accounts so that you're able to have more secure different passwords for different accounts. What a lot of people do and are guilty of, I'm guilty of this to be honest with you, is have one or two passwords for every single online thing that they use, for every login that they use, right? Now, this is bad because if someone figures out that password, they automatically have access to your PayPal account, to your Nike account, to your Dropbox account, maybe, all these different things. But if you have different passwords for your different accounts, there's a much less likely chance that they're able to access all of them, right? Because they're able to just have access to one, which is definitely great. And this allows you to store those passwords and to easily log in through this tool here. Here's Dropbox Vault. This securely stores passports, tax documents, and financial statements. There's a PIN code which provides an extra layer of security, and you can designate trusted family and friends to access your vault. So this kind of replaces a general safe at home. You're able to maybe scan a passport and put it in your vault, which is definitely a more really secure way of storing your documents. Here we have computer backup. So let's say you have a laptop or a computer and you want to back up everything on that computer. You can do that through Dropbox. All the files on your computer, all photos, all videos, everything can be, you can back that up onto Dropbox, right? Automatically back up folders on a PC or Mac. Content is continuously synced between the cloud and a hard drive. Easily access all your all your content from within Dropbox. Again, Dropbox, this is just another aspect of Dropbox which a lot of people definitely use and will continue to use in the future. Dropbox Family. This is a great tool because it really it reaches a lot of people, right? This keeps your family's digital lives connected. It creates both shared and personal spaces and supports up to 6 members in one plan. So through this plan, you can have many different. You can have your kids. You can have your wife or your husband. You can have I don't know, if your dog wants a Dropbox account, your dog can have one. And you know what this does? If children grow up using this their family plan that their parents set up, uh, you know, they're much more likely when they get older to continue using Dropbox because they've been exposed to that for such a long time. This is something like an iCloud, um, you know, for a lot of people, or a Google Drive or a OneDrive, where you can store documents, right, very easily. You can store videos. You can, you know, you store a lot of different things that you might not want to store on your laptop because it takes up too much space. So again, Dropbox family definitely exposes Dropbox to a lot more people, especially the younger generation, which is really good. Here's the Dropbox App Center. There are over 40 different apps to choose from across a range of categories. These are apps that really integrate well with Dropbox. Things like Slack, Zoom, Adobe, Office. It allows you to discover and connect apps to your Dropbox account, right? So again, as I said, very easy to connect these apps within Dropbox and to use them very easily. And it creates a more engaging and higher value experience with Dropbox, which is what I mentioned here. And then this is HelloSign. You know, this is something that I'm really excited about. HelloSign is a company of Dropbox, and they're pretty much like a DocuSign, right? Which is, you know, that type of thing is exploding as of lately, where you can e-sign things. You can send someone a document through Dropbox, and then they can sign it and send it back through Dropbox very easily. Again, sign, send, and receive documents all without ever leaving Dropbox. Manage an entire end-to-end workflow within Dropbox. HelloSign is now the primary e-signature tool for Dropbox users. This is great because not only does it is it an incredible tool that allows you to e-sign things, but it also exposes more people to Dropbox and HelloSign, which may convert to more, which those users now may convert to Dropbox, which is definitely great. I mean, look at this. Dropbox, or DocuSign rather, is currently $220 a share, and it's trading at a $41 billion market cap. Their only product is an e-signature tool, right? Of course, it is the biggest one, and they own like 90% of the e-signature market. But Dropbox is under an $8 billion market cap, right? So, you know, DocuSign is trading at over a 5x of Dropbox, right? So either DocuSign is very overvalued or Dropbox is very undervalued. If HelloSign manages to just, you know, get maybe 10% of what DocuSign is at right now, you know, that could definitely be a very strong growth catalyst for the stock into the future. Here is HelloSign subscription plans. If you want to stop the video and look at these, feel free. Here are Slack's deep integration partners. So these are the different integrations that integrate very, very well with Dropbox. Things like Google, Adobe, Zoom, Slack, Microsoft, Atlassian, Better Cloud, and Salesforce. These integrate very well, and we're going to go through here in a sec. Like, look at the Slack integration. You can start Slack conversations from Dropbox. You can share content to Slack from Dropbox. So even if you're using different tools, you can they integrate very well with Dropbox, and you can do pretty much everything through Dropbox without having to leave the platform. And then there's the Zoom integration, where you can pretty much have let's say you put a file out into Dropbox. You can start a meeting or schedule a meeting right through Dropbox, and people can join that through Dropbox. So again, this is what that smart workplace thing is about, where if many people are using Dropbox, you know, they consistently use Dropbox, because even if they have to switch to like Zoom or Slack, they can do that through Dropbox, which again is why this program is so sticky, because if people you know, use Dropbox for all of these different things, they're much less likely to switch over to a different platform that may not have this type of integration. I want to take a quick moment and talk about competition for a second here. There is a lot of doubt, a lot of negativity about Dropbox in the sense that OneDrive and Google Drive are just going to crush it. Well, this argument, in my opinion, makes absolutely no sense. Because Dropbox came out in 2007. OneDrive came out in 2007. Google Drives came out in 2012. If all of these products have been existing for 10 plus years aside from Google Drives, why is it that Dropbox is still pretty much one of the dominant cloud storage companies? Why is it that Dropbox is making over almost $2 billion in annualized revenue if Google Drives and OneDrive have been around since Dropbox came out, right? If these were really that bad of a competition, why is Dropbox still around, right? We're going to go through their financials here now. Here's their revenue growth. Again, incredible revenue growth. 19% growth in 2019. So it's definitely not like it's a stalling company. Again, 19% revenue growth. Their operating income is continuing to grow to 60 million, to 170 million, to 205 million. That's only expected to grow even more in the future. We can look at quarterly financials now. The revenue growth from Q2 of 2019 to Q2 of 2020 grew 16%, and their operating income went from 40 million to 96 million. And again, this operating income is going to explode within the next 3 to 5 years, in my opinion. I mean, just look at how profitable Dropbox is. Look at the revenue compared to the gross profit, right? And again, this chart shows beautifully how Dropbox is a growing company, and they're going to be a growing company for the next little while. I personally believe they're going to be growing 10% plus revenue or rather, they're going to be growing their revenue by 10% for the next 3 to 5 years at least. So definitely a double-digit grower in that sense. And again, eventually, they're going to start realizing more and more of this profit, right? Right now, if you look at their gross profit compared to their operating income, it's almost nothing because they're spending so much and investing so much back into the business to make better products, to reach out to more people, to get more people to sign up for Dropbox, things like that. Here's their balance sheet. Again, a beautiful balance sheet. They have in current assets, they have 1.2 billion. In cash and short-term investments, they have 1.1 billion. Think about it. Dropbox is an under $8 billion company, yet they have $1.1 billion in cash just sitting around. Again, just incredible. Their current liabilities are at 981 million, so if they choose to, they can just pay that all off. They definitely have the cash to do that. Or they can extend those liabilities with the low interest rates that we have as of right now. Here is Dropbox's kind of goals for the future. I believe this is what they want to hit around 3 to 4 years down the road. In 2019, they had gross margins of 76%. Their long-term target is 78% to 80%. So, just increasing that or making the product less expensive, rather. The research and developing costs as an expense research and development expense as a percentage of their revenue is right now at 30%. They want to get that down to about 23 to 25%. Social and marketing as an expense of revenue is 23%. They want to get that down to 18 to 20%. General and administrative expenses is around 11%, and they want to get that down to 8 to 10%. And right now, their operating margin is around 12%. They want to get that up to around 28 to 30%, right? Which is why you can see this figure here. Right now, they have $400 million in annualized free cash flow. So that's money pretty much just going to the bank right away, every year, right? Their long-term target for annualized free cash flow is over $1 billion with a B. Now, this is really exciting because Dropbox, again, it's under an $8 billion market cap. Yet they're expected to have over $1 billion in annualized free cash flow, right? I don't know, something doesn't add up here, right? Now we're going to look at the valuation here. Dropbox is currently trading at $19 a share. under an $8 billion market cap. And if you look at this, it's been on a downtrend since its IPO. It IPO'd at around $20. It's at $19 right now, right? An under $8 billion market cap. You're getting a better price than you did over 2 years ago, right? Dropbox IPO'd at around $21 a share, which was back in March 22nd of 2018, which is 2.5 years ago. The stock's trading at around $19 a share right now. So, you mean to tell me that Dropbox didn't grow their revenue, didn't expand their business, didn't create more businesses within those 2.5 years, right? I'm getting a better value than I would have gotten 2.5 years ago. So, it's definitely incredible. Analysts here are expecting Dropbox to grow around 11%, or rather 15% for this year and 11% for next year. I think both of these figures are low. Dropbox is a company that consistently beats on all aspects in their quarterly reports. I believe that Dropbox can get over 15% growth this quarter, and I believe they can get closer to 13%. If not, keep that 15% for years to come, right? I personally believe that over the next 3 to 5 years, this will be a double-digit growth stock, growing 10% plus revenue growth year over year. So again, it's definitely not a company that's kind of stalled their growth. They're continuing to grow their revenues and grow their profits in a massive way. Out of all this stuff that we've talked about, out of all this revenue growth, their balance sheet, their different businesses, the opportunity that they have in the future, Dropbox is currently trading at a forward PE of 21, which is just incredible when you think about how expensive some of these companies are. Shopify trading at a 4,000 forward PE, Zoom trading at like a 400 forward PE. You've got companies like Slack that aren't even profitable, and they're trading at price to sales, which is their revenue divided by their market cap divided by their revenue, with price to sales ratios higher than this company's forward PE, right? At a forward PE of 21, I think this is one of the most undervalued companies in the stock market here today. You cannot find many companies with a forward PE of 21 that are growing revenue double digits, that are going to be having over $1 billion of free cash flow. Like, this is this might be one of the easiest monies in the easiest money in the stock market as of right now. We're gonna go through my price target here now. In my personal opinion, over the next 3 to 5 years, worst case scenario, Dropbox goes to a $40 a share, which would be over 100% gain in the next 3 to 5 years, and that's worst case scenario. That's if their growth slows down big time. That's if they don't really hit those price targets. I think Dropbox will be trading at around $40 a share. In my personal opinion, I believe Dropbox will be trading at around $60 a share. That's kind of my my middle price target. $60 a share sounds about right, which, that's a 3x from right now. So over the next 3 to 5 years, a 200% gain is just incredible. And then best case scenario, I spelled best wrong, but if Dropbox executes on all levels, they hit those long-term targets, and they might even exceed those long-term targets, and they show that they can coexist with OneDrive, with Google Drive, which they've already done. But this stock is acting like Google Drive and OneDrive are going to shut Dropbox down. If they manage to operate over 3 to 5 years with double-digit revenue growth, that will prove that Dropbox can continue to grow alongside Google Drive and OneDrive, which is, again, one of the biggest downside risks of Dropbox as of this moment in time. So again, $80 plus, that's the best case scenario, which would be a 4x, over a 4x from today's prices. So what am I doing? Right now, I am, sorry I exited out here, but right now, as of right now, I am planning to buy Dropbox stock. I personally want it. I know I'm getting really picky here, and I know I shouldn't get picky, but I like to have a forward PE of under 20. That would be ideal. Now, Dropbox right now is trading at a forward PE of 21, which means all the stock has to do is drop 5%, and I'm probably going to start a position. Now, I know I probably shouldn't do that. I probably should start a position now and then just dollar cost average lower, but I am kind of picky when it comes to that. Under 20 would just be an incredible deal and would make it pretty much impossible to lose money over the next 3 to 5 years, which is really what I'm looking for. Just so you guys know, I'm not a financial advisor. I am just making a video here for you guys with what I think, with many, many hours of research about Dropbox, what I think it'll be doing over the next few years, with what I think, where it's going over the next 3 to 5 years. It's going to be one of again, I think Dropbox is going to be the safest place to put your money over the next 3 to 5 years. That has giant upside as well. So if you enjoyed the video, make sure to hit that thumbs up. It really helps out the channel. I hope you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe and see you guys later.